So in this video, I want to talk about the spiraling mind and maybe some anxiety or some thoughts that happen when the mind starts to spiral and you start to think about a situation over and over, and maybe you can't sleep, or maybe you just get stuck on one thought or one idea or one potential result. And I talk a lot about inner work and not avoiding, but here I want to offer like a strategy for working with that spiraling mind. So we've all had these scenarios happen. Maybe there's a health scare, that you find something in your body and you have to go to the doctor, and there's a period of uncertainty where you don't know, and the mind starts to go for even maybe for yourself, maybe for your partner, maybe for your kid, that the mind starts to really spiral. Like, what could this be? When can it? And it's not helping anything, and you know it's not helping anything because you don't have the results, and you can Google all you want, and that's even leads to more spiraling. And what I would say here in terms of avoidance, because my work, the inner work that I do, has to do with turning towards, and the same goes with spiraling. So what I sometimes do is to just give the mind like a good 5 minutes. You can put it on a timer, 5-10 minutes, to let the mind spiral, to really just say, okay, go for it, mind, do your thing, and give it permission. Because in fact, the spiraling itself is a very subtle form of avoidance, where there's like this fight between the mind spiraling and the fight not to want it to, and to be scared by the feelings that the mind is suggesting, or by the ideas that the mind is suggesting. So on one hand, these thoughts are coming to my head, on another hand, I'm fighting them. So one thing we can do, the thoughts are going to come into the head anyway, so one thing we can do is to just let go of the fighting. And this is the work to let go of the fighting that's internal, that also projects external. It starts with these things in oneself. So I'm having anxiety about something, or some situation calls for uncertainty, and I'm in this in between, and I start to brr. So I take 5 minutes, 10 minutes to just let the mind do its thing, and to be in the position of, okay, it's okay to be afraid. It's okay to have these things come up, and to allow yourself to just let it flow for 10 minutes, like everything that could come. And this is going to come anyway, so it's not very different from what's actually happening, but you're intentionally giving it space. And by doing that, you don't allow this thing to dominate, because you're now in control. You can let these things come up. You're okay with these things coming up instead of the fight. And this can also occur for like an argument with your colleague or with your partner. We sometimes are in this uncertainty of like, it's not in good grounds. We haven't solved it, so we're in this in between. And this time can be very fruitful, actually. It could be also very destructive to just spiral, let the, rehearse and replay the argument over and over in your head. Talk to your friends about it, which also for myself, in my case, somehow is necessary, but also doesn't help, because you get more firm on your position. Suddenly it's like, yeah, I'm right about this because all my friends agree with me. So it helps with the certainty, but it doesn't help to actually connect and use the situation as something that we can grow and learn from. And that's the same thing. Give yourself, so that just so you don't keep repeating in your head the argument or what happened or what I should do, which, if you really paid attention, is just repetition, because it like just replays over and over. So again, give the space, let it go. I'm going to press play and let the mind do its thing. I'm going to do the whole argument or the whole scenario, and allow myself to receive it, allow myself to be annoyed, allow myself to be angry, let everything come up, and for as long as you need, and be in the position of acceptance and the approach of making use of this thing. So it's hard to just say make use of this thing when it's like in the fighting energy, but you can make use of this thing when you're in a place that accepts it and says, okay, you can come fear, you can come anger, you can come, let's see what's there, curiosity about it, and just let these things run through. So that's one approach and strategy, I guess you could say, for doing the inner work when it comes to the spiraling thoughts. And the more we do that, the more we are letting ourselves be in a natural state of peace, allowing ourselves to appreciate what comes up, even when it's difficult. And we get better and better at spotting those things that are difficult, that maybe previously we would have been fighting to get into the place of the righteousness or the certainty, but now we can say, okay, that's also a part of it. Let it in, and be in a more peaceful acceptance of some of the more difficult feelings. And then, of course, that peaceful state gets transferred. And fighting with ourselves means fighting externally too, and peace with ourselves means peace externally too. And that's the magic formula.